On this episode of the Turnbuckle, we get spoilers on WWE's plan for a triple threat IC title match at Wrestlemania. Samoa Joe regains his TNT Championship, and AEW revamps their community program. Folks, we're reading your favorite wrestling movies and wrestling news because it's time for the Turnbuckle. According to a report from WrestleVotes, WWE has plans to feature the Intercontinental title in a three-way match situation. Right now, the working plan is Gunther vs. Drew McIntyre vs. Sheamus. I'm told, while not decided 100%, there are plans to feature an Intercontinental Championship three-way match at WrestleMania, Gunther vs. Sheamus vs. Drew. There are a number of supporters within creative that not only want the match, but they want it towards the top, to be determined. A triple threat match, that makes a lot of sense. If you watch the Rumble, then you'll know that in the match, Drew and Sheamus were kind of like, I forget what they were doing, but they were I think they were both trying to get like somebody out of the ring, and then they both got eliminated, and they both kind of got like mad at each other because they both kind of like, you know, caused it for one another and everything. I don't necessarily know if that is potentially going to happen. I mean, right now it seems like it's up in the air, and it seems like, you know, they're probably gonna go with that for now and then potentially change it in the future. I don't actually know. I would love to see this match, but at the end of the day, only time will tell if it'll actually happen. So we're just gonna have to wait and see when WrestleMania rolls around. Next, we're gonna talk about Samoa Joe and how he regains the TNT Championship on AEW Dynamite. Samoa Joe is once again the TNT Champion. Joe defeated Darby Allin in the main event of Wednesday's Dynamite to win the championship for a second time. In a match filled with crazy spots and weapons, Joe won the match after hitting a muscle buster off the top turnbuckle onto the exposed wood panels in the ring. With the win, Joe ends Darby Allin's streak after more than 29 days. After the match, Wardlow made his return and immediately went to the ring, brawling with Joe. Wardlow attempted to powerbomb Joe, but he managed to escape before Joe could do so. Back in December, Samoa Joe had defeated Wardlow in a match. After Joe won via submission, Joe continued to assault Wardlow and obtained a pair of scissors, cut off Wardlow's ponytail. Darby Allin eventually came to the ring for the save, setting a match between Joe and Allin for the January 4th edition of Dynamite. It was there that Allin defeated Joe to win the championship for a second time. If I could just do a quick rant, I'm just going to go on a very quick rant, okay? I give you guys all types of riveting news, and some of it makes you think and some of it makes you wonder, and today I just want to talk about something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know why they gave Joe the TNT title back. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Oh, Joe is the greatest TNT champion. Listen, that's fantastic. I love Joe. I think Joe is absolutely the greatest, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. It makes no sense that you had, what was it? You had the triple threat match with Hobbs and Wardlow and Joe, and Hobbs just sort of like, I mean, thinking about it in hindsight, Hobbs didn't really do a whole lot. He kind of just, I mean, he was in the match, obviously, and it was a really good match, but then Joe, I think, what was it? Joe put Wardlow to sleep, and then that feud continued, I think. Or no, that was for the, wasn't that for the Ring of Honor chip? The point is, man, Joe beat Wardlow, and then Allin beat Joe because he was in his hometown. Great. And then literally a month later, Joe takes the title back, and now we're back on Wardlow and Joe again. And now Wardlow doesn't have his amazing ponytail. And before all of this, it was War Joe, which was just them walking around smacking people upside the head. And then Joe went, goo-goo-goo-choo, and that was it. And everyone went, whoa. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. It's a gigantic waste of time, and I feel like it's hurting Joe and Allin and Wardlow. And I'm just worried about where the storyline is going to go. I haven't really been 100% on top of the storyline since it started, and this is really not helping. So hopefully, you know, I eat my words, and the storyline actually ends up being a lot more interesting than it is right now. Finally, we're going to be talking about AEW and how they refreshed and renamed a community program. AEW's community outreach program is getting a full revamp. Today, AEW announced the reveal of AEW Together with new leadership. There will be a new director of community engagement in Caitlin Borden, daughter-in-law of AEW star Sting, who will be driving the overall strategy of philanthropic and local activations, managing fundraising targets, and overseeing team members. Amanda Huber, the widow of Brody Lee, will remain on board as community engagement coordinator, while Mark Henry, Paul White, Sean Dean, and Jake Roberts will serve as special advisors to the program as they utilize their passion for community relations to help identify partner organizations across the country, assist in incorporating talent participation, and provide counsel on enhancing activations. Hand in hand with delivering the best product to our fans each week is our strong commitment to fostering a safe, healthy, and inclusive community through the power of wrestling. AEW Together complements this by identifying causes that are important to our talent and supporting organizations in the cities we visit throughout the year, said AEW owner Tony Khan. The team behind AEW Together will ensure that we make a positive impact in every town we visit through volunteering, fundraising, and helping to drive social change. AEW Together will also have 4 pillars of focus on the program, with those being youth programs, human rights and social change, help in local areas, and physical and mental health. The announcement also made clear that they will continue their partnerships with Culture City, Oceana, and the American Heart Association. The reveal of AEW's new community program coincides with February 1st, kicking off American Heart Month. So this is great. This is just a little bit of like, wholesome news to end off on the day, and you off with like a smile on your face or something, This is on par with WWE's Be a Star program. I know that WWE's kind of got that going on. I know WWE is like multiple programs. I know I don't think they do the Susan G. Coleman. What's it? Susan B. Anthony? One of them. I doubt that they're going to be changing the 4 pillars because, they're the 4 pillars for a reason. So we're just going to have to wait and see if they're potentially going to expand on those pillars in the near future. Only time will tell what those expansions could potentially be. But other than that, folks, I don't know about you. But I'm really happy to hear about this. I think this is absolutely fantastic. What do we talk about? It's going to be a triple threat match at Wrestle. Well, it might be a triple threat match with Gunther and with Gunther and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Oh my god, I've had AEW on the brain. I don't know if that match is potentially going to happen. I know that if it does happen, it'll be an absolutely fantastic match. I know the build is going to be great. I love the way that they've been building Walter. Like I said, they've been building Walter as though he might as well just be his own world champion, just by the way that he's having the matches and just by the way that he's going about everything and the way that they're building him and stuff. He just seems like a very formidable opponent. And Austin Theory as well, not to like discredit Austin Theory, but like when you look at when you look at Gunther and Austin Theory, you got to think to yourself, I'd be more terrified if I was in the ring with Walter. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, man, we're just gonna have to wait and see if that potentially happens. I don't know though. Samoa Joe regains the TNT Championship. I'm not mad at Samoa Joe for winning the championship. I'm mad simply because this storyline feels like it's just been going on for just a little bit too long, and also I just feel like the storyline just like has a lot of like missing parts to it. But that just could be me. It could just, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to be like, oh, maybe he's right that the storyline's bad. You could be looking at the storyline and be like, oh, that storyline actually isn't that bad, and the characters actually have really decent motivations, and actually looking at it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna like put your head on a pike. Who cares? You're allowed to have an opinion, just like me, okay? That's what I said, all right? I just wanted to rant about this. I didn't think it made a whole lot of sense. If it makes a lot of sense, then go in the comments, tell me about it. Jeez Louise, you have a mouth. Anyway, AW refreshes and revamps the community program. I'm really glad they did that. I can't wait to see what type of refreshes and revamps, they plan on doing. I've never run a community program like this, so I can only imagine that it's going to be a lot of like after-school community programs, a lot of like, hey, you are probably not doing a whole lot after school, so let's make sure that, you're not going around and being an ne'er-do-well, what else was it? Helping local area, yeah, so a lot of like community centers and helping out the homeless and stuff like that. Absolutely fantastic. Again, I would love to see more of this, not even just WWE or AEW, just all over the place. Would be absolutely fantastic. I don't necessarily know how they're gonna expand. There you go. You just throw it. Yeah, you expand on this type of stuff, but I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. Folks, that's gonna do it for this episode. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. As always, big hugs all around.